Hello everybody, my name is Max with Maximize Your Cooking. Today I have a special video for you guys. I am going to be introducing my two sisters.
Hi, I'm Claudia. Hi, I'm Cece.
Today we're going to be making Brussels sprouts, Asian-inspired Brussels sprouts.
Can't forget that part.
Yeah, the Asian is important because we're using soy sauce and sriracha, so therefore it's Asian. It's a good recipe, and my sisters and I really like cooking stuff like this together. So
let's get started.
Let's get started. All right, so I'm gonna get started right now. The first thing I want to let you guys know: preheat your oven to 400 degrees Fahrenheit. Just to be preliminary, taking preliminary measures here, just being ready for your food later. Okay, right here I got 1 pound of Brussels sprouts. Brussels sprouts come off a giant stalk. But here we got them in a bag, so they're all set up for us. What we got to do to our Brussels sprouts before we wash them is we're just going to cut them right in half, just right down the middle. We're cut them in half, and we'll put them all back in our bowl when we're ready. But let me show you how you should do that. All right, we got one Brussels sprout. We got our knife. We're holding it correctly. Okay, and just be careful. Get the bear claws in there, and cut it right in half. Just like that. Inside we got beautiful little Brussels sprouts, and you just do that with all your Brussels sprouts. It's going to be a little bit of a time-consuming task, but it's part of the recipe. Just be careful. The Brussels sprouts are spherical. They like to roll around. Keep your hands and keep your mind on your Brussels sprouts. Alright, so I've just finished cutting up all these Brussels sprouts. They look nice. They're cut in half here. They got a nice little fragrance in the air too. I'm going to put them in the bowl here, and the next thing we got to do is wash them, and my sister Cece will be helping you through that.
So what we're going to do is we're going to use the Honest Fruit and Veggie Wash to wash the Brussels sprouts. Basically, you're just going to spray them a couple times, just to get rid of the toxic residue and chemicals that are on the Brussels sprouts.
Yeah, and that's typically something you would do if you lived in the state of California, because people are like that here. But if you're not from California, doesn't matter. No one cares, and you're probably not gonna die. So, just a known
fact: there are over 40 people that are going to touch your produce before you receive it. So you do want to use something to help get rid of those waxes and dirty germs. Exactly. Someone's sick, they cough.
It's a good point.
And I totally agree.
It's a good point. So, let's
and we're going to spray them a little more because I didn't get all of them.
A little more, you get the tops.
Do that. Leave it on for 1 minute, I'd say. Just a minute should do the trick. And then we'll just wash them. So we're just going to fill this up with water, soak them. Give them a nice little rub-a-dub-dub. Any leaves that are brown like that, you can just remove them and drain them. And now we're going to pat them dry with a paper towel. Just to soak up that extra moisture from the water. Alright guys, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to put these babies in the oven. So grab some tin foil and place it on the baking sheet. If you have a large rimmed baking sheet, use that. Unfortunately, we don't have that, so we're just using a basic cookie sheet. So basically, you're gonna spread these all out evenly. And now you gotta oil these little guys up and definitely put some salt on. So I use grapeseed oil. You can feel free to use vegetable oil as well, but this is kind of a healthier alternative. So I'm just gonna drizzle these on these Brussels sprouts, and grab some kosher salt and sprinkle it on. And then you want to make sure that you mix it up so it's, each Brussels sprout is generously oiled as well as salted. And they look good. They actually match my shirt. That's pretty awesome. So we're gonna place it in the oven. It's preheated by now, so we're good. Do the top rack to help crispy these Brussels sprouts. Shut the oven so you keep the heat in. And now it's time to play the waiting game.
So while we have our Brussels sprouts baking in the oven, we have a few ingredients right here that we're going to use to make a sauce for our Brussels sprouts. It's really simple. You know, anytime during the cooking, but preferably closer to the time it's done cooking, you should start doing this. You're going to have a medium-high heat saucepan, get that preheated and going. But in the meantime, you can measure out 2 tablespoons of maple syrup, a tablespoon of sriracha sauce. We all know what sriracha is. We got 3 tablespoons of soy sauce right here. We're going to need a minced 1 clove of garlic minced, and then we need about half of a lemon, large lemon. This is a pretty conventional sized lemon. Half of that lemon squeezed into the sauce. We're also going to add a little bit of black pepper, but you know, we'll show you how to do that in just a minute.
All right. So about 20 minutes after the Brussels sprouts have started cooking, you're gonna take them out of the oven and just kind of stir them up so we can get each part of the Brussels sprout evenly cooked. So it's hot. I'm not using my hands, although I know I want to. It's easier. Just stir them around. It's kind of awkward that I'm using forks, but use whatever. And we're going to place them back in for about 20 to 30 more minutes.
Alright, so here we got our saucepan, and it's preheated a little bit, but we don't want to have it too hot, so I recommend you have the fire on a little bit, the heat on a little bit, and then add your stuff up. It'll come to temperature, it'll begin boiling, and you'll be able to reduce it down. And what we're aiming for here is just a reduction of about 50%. If the word reduction scares you, in other words, we're just letting more of the liquid evaporate out of the mixture. So here we got 3 tablespoons of soy sauce. Just add that into our saucepan. It's going to make our sauce a little salty, a little bit savory. And I got lemon juice. It can be a good idea to squeeze it out of your lemon beforehand so that the seeds don't become a problem when you put it in your sauce. If you were to just squeeze it right into it. Okay, we got our sriracha. Pour that in. Give us a nice little spice. Nice flavor. Alright, we got our maple syrup for sweetness. Wow, look at that. Very nice. Give that just a little whirl. Very good. Okay. And at this point I'm going to add just a little bit of pepper. We just want like a nice dash. So here I got black pepper. Just dash that in there. Okay. And we're just going to let this reduce. Keep an eye on where it was. See how much you got in there. Overall we got probably like close to half a cup of ingredients in there. So we want to be left with just about a 1/4 cup. That's the important thing here. And you know, that could take like a minute, it could take 2 minutes. Just keep an eye on it. And once you think it's about 50% done, 50% reduced, that's the time to turn it off. Or, you know, another way to look at it is, you know, once the sauce is thick, that's another way to indicate that your sauce is ready. Alright, look at that. It's nicely starting to thicken. You know when it's getting thick when the bubbles become larger and a little bit less rapid. Look at that. So it's starting to thicken up a little bit. Keep in mind that when the temperature cools, it will become just a little bit thicker. So right when, you know, this is getting really close too. One very important thing that I forgot to do is put the garlic in the sauce. You know what, this is getting right to where we need it to be. Let's turn that off. Alright, especially because this pan holds a lot of its heat. Look at that. So we got a nice, see how thick that is? It's kind of like soupy now. Nice thick sauce. Looks good. Smells garlicky. Just let that sit and wait to put on the Brussels sprouts when they're finished.
Okay, so it's been about 50 minutes, so now we're just going to check on the Brussels sprouts. Okay, great. So they look nice and crispy, so we're just going to remove them. Perfect. Oh, they smell so good. Awesome. And now we're going to just toss them with the sauce we just reduced. So we're gonna put a little bit in at a time. Okay, so now we're gonna just put the Brussels sprouts in the bowl, and we don't want to do all of them at like just right away. So we'll do like half, and then we're gonna take some of the sauce and just drizzle it over. And it's pretty thick, and that's what the consistency that you want. And you're just gonna mix them around, coat them nicely. And then we'll grab the other half and just lightly coat these two. And these smell so good. Okay, and then Max, Claudia, do you guys want to try it?
Yeah, count me in.
Ooh. We got some forks. There you go.
Ooh.
Here we go for you.
Should we try it together? Ladies first.
Well,
Yeah,
I'm a
Max, come
gentleman.
on. You learned that from Mom. And Dad.
may I try it now?
Mm-hmm. Mm. Oh my god, it's so good.
It's so good.
Like super tangy.
And crispy.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet from that maple syrup, but like salty in the soy sauce, spicy from the sriracha.
The spice is like perfect. And you know what? And even if you wanted to make it a little bit more spicy, add a little bit more sriracha.
Job well done. So that wraps it up for our Asian-inspired Brussels sprouts. My name is Max, and
I'm Claudia,
I'm Cece.
and thanks for watching Maximize Your Cooking.